Test 1, 2. Let me know if you guys can hear me all right. We should be live again. All right, let me know if you guys are back in. Sorry, we locked up. So gold's still popping for us. Looks like gold is trying to break that level, previous high. So we're looking good on that trade. All right, and then also, let's see. So we'll see. So far, gold's going good. We're going to move our stop on it. So it broke through the previous high. So again, we traded head and shoulders pattern. Great trade on that. It followed all the way up to hit where it started. We did not have the trail tool on. We just put that back on. And we had that was a reverse head and shoulders. Then we had a head and shoulders pattern, which actually dropped to the previous low over here, that consolidated area. Got a little bit there and then put on another trade after it pulled back. So it pulled back this green candle, gave a red candle. I shorted thinking, okay, that's just a pullback. Let's trade it on down to the 4-hour zone. It did not follow through. So that was a losing trade of the 245. So I gave back almost what I had on the first trade. And then this last trade, we went in with 4 contracts and closed out 3. And then once we closed out 3, then moved the stop a little bit. And of course, we're trailing the stop using the trailing tool. So right now I need to move it. So I'm kind of talking fast. So there is a little plateau where the stop is starting here. And then you have one here. I'm going to go right there. So right now we're only up like 63, so not much. We've locked in maybe 40 of that. So it'll still be positive on the day. This may end up being like $140, $150 trade on the second when that is closed out. So not great on gold because, again, the 245 takes away and we're left with $42 there. And then we've got the 171, so a little over 200. So we'll end up about 250 on the day. But again, we're looking for a couple hundred. Depends on what you're looking for. 200 a day is 4,000 a month. Still sitting negative right now on oil, so nothing there. Not in Nasdaq. We're not in anything else, but I did go ahead and take a chance on the euro on this right here. And we're just not seeing anything with it. So it may be overextended from that long move up. And then the trade we put on here on did not trigger. So this is one where it went up and I didn't want to buy in there. And I thought, well, if it pulls back, I'll take a buy. So that's where I put in the buy limit on platinum of just one contract, and it just did not get triggered. We almost got triggered there, but did not. And so far, it's followed through. It's hit the top of the zone. So I'm going to close that trade off because I'm not interested in getting into it at this point in the day if it pulls back there. So we're not taking that trade. So I don't know if anyone got in on that or not. And then if I can find it, so far, here's where we're on the day. I got to switch screens here to that one. So far we're 897 on the day overall. So not bad. And I have no idea where my I got to reset everything when we restart this. Sorry about that, because it's not showing our. I don't think it's gonna. I'm trying to re-show the unrealized profit, and it's not letting me put it back on. There, let's see if this will work. There it goes. Okay, back on. A picky program. So I know MC got that. Cupcake trades, same trade. So there's a few of us that are in that, in the gold trade. So far it has not it almost stopped me out. Let's see where we're at here. Let's see, we're getting something on Nasdaq here. So we got another buy on Nasdaq. It's just hitting, it's sideways right now, so. I know I didn't put, I don't always put my profit target tool on these. Let's see, I know I took it back here. I think my stop was tight, like in here. I'd have to go back and look at the image. I think I cropped an image of it. But see how it finally broke out of that? So that's trade we took long, or I took long. The 4 was down in here when that candle broke out of the top of that little triangle area. And that, I pointed that out earlier. I know I'm on a 1-minute chart, but basically we had the wicks, lower wicks in here, higher wicks here, draw that pendant or triangle pattern, and then that's where I took that buy. So far it's been a good trade. My stop, I know it was down there somewhere. I just don't remember the exact number. I know I did not put it back here, so went with the tighter stop. So far it's been a decent trade. My stop is a little tight, and I might get stopped out. So it's either that or you trade when the color changes, but I'm going to stay in it. So right now I'm going to take the trail off because trail's kind of no good to me now since it's up there. We broke through that. We're going sideways. So right now I'm going to turn the trail off. Let's see, I need to click on one of these buys. And I'll just turn that off for now. It's either that or I have to adjust it back out because I'm planning on getting stopped down here. That looks like that's the way it's heading. Nothing on Euro as it's not moving. Again, it's coming into that noon. We're coming into lunchtime, so yeah, I don't know why I'm having problems with this thing lock up today. It's been the third time. I tried to start earlier and it locked up the first thing this morning. I gotta make sure I don't have anything running in the background my son's doing. Who knows? He likes to come use this computer. For gaming because it's a beast. I don't like that he does, but well, let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to get something here. Okay. Okay. All right, sorry. So I was just posting the trade report out there. Someone was asking about the trade report versus the annotations. I think I mentioned that before. That I do these blue annotations so that you guys can see where, and I think most people know that. We didn't want to do that. Well, now what do I got? Sorry, guys. There we go. All right, sorry. So someone just asked about trade report, not showing my trade report. So I wanted to go out and post those real quick. You guys know I don't care to show my trade reports. I do often, I don't always. And mainly while I'm trading, it's just easier for me to drop these little chat bars, bubbles, whatever you want to call them. So it's just easy for me while I'm trading to come in and, you know, like if I'm up $300 and I have 2 contracts on, I close out one, then I know I've locked in $150 at X point. So it's just easy for me typically to drop these trap bubbles and put this on versus going out and keep pulling trade reports. So I don't pull them all the time while I'm trading, and that's because I'm trading 6 instruments as well. So it's not easy for me to be going over 6 instruments, trying to trade them, try and tell why I'm taking trades or why I'm doing this or why my targets are where my targets are, looking at key levels, zones, all that stuff, along with the power trade indicator, and then pull this trade report as well. So it's just a lot going on. So that's why I don't always pull those, and then I try to pull them when I can, and then add those little trade amounts to my chart. But if you'd rather see the trade stats, then I'm fine with that. So I did just post that out in the where'd it go? There it is. I think most people know that I could care less. I'll show whatever. Yeah, see, I don't even know why it's doing that right there. And here's today. So right now I'm up $897 so far that's locked in. So I still have a couple trades on. So really good on the day. Lost $296 overall, and most of that is that $245 trade. So the one I took on gold, you know, we took like 4 trades. So we took one short, long, then short, and then I tried another short after it pulled back. That one was the one that failed. It was 245 negative. So this 296 negative right here, 245 of that was on that gold trade, and then of course we're in gold long now. So that's what I just posted out there was that, and there's all the trades. So I'm good with that on the day. I don't know who wouldn't be. So, but someone new was asking about that on there, so I just wanted to get that posted. And I'm not sure why we're hung up on the prop account. This is a prop account I'm trading. I think everybody knows that on this one. The MetaTrader account is not. All right, so yeah, gold popped. We're waiting to see what happens. Okay, I think we're squared away. All right. So gold, we're still kind of hanging out until it pops. Yeah, we don't want that one. Let's go back to gold. All right, sorry about that. So yeah, gold popped up a little bit. I thought we were going to run. It popped above that that line. Pulled back a little bit. It's popped back up to the line again. So right now, technically, I can't move this trade line. If I was going to, we'd move it like out here, okay? But if I do that, I'm kind of trying to predict that this is over. It's going to bounce. By moving that line off this low, okay? I'm not consciously doing it, but by moving it down now, since it hasn't broke this high right here, I'm pretty much saying, okay, turn. Like right now, just bounce, just pop. It may do that, but it may not. It could drop. So now's the wrong time to actually move this trade line. We need to leave it where it is, okay? Because so far what it's done is it broke the trade line it's pulled back up to test the backside of the trade line, and then that might bounce short. If it happens to break this high right here, turn the magnet back on, but if it happens to break this line right there, or that high right there, at that point, once it pushes through, then we can move our trade line out to either this low or over here, whatever it makes. So we got to see. So right now I'm not doing that, and then I'm just gonna leave my stop where it is. I would be triggered on platinum if I left that on. So platinum, as we know, I was waiting on it to pull back and had a buy limit there, and it did not trigger. It came close, so it went without me. But notice how it just bounced twice there at the top of the zone, and it's pulled all the way back. So if I would have left that trade on, it would have me in right now. And I wouldn't really care for that right now. Not to say that it won't bounce here, but just not interested in taking it the rest of the day at all. It's 11:30, so really not interested in losing back on this oil trade. I thought about closing when it, since it's bouncing around sideways in here, I thought about closing out when it was less negative, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Since it is getting close to noon, I think what I'm going to do is when it pulls down here, I just have to decide how much I want to lose on that. And I'm not going to close it all. I should have done it right then. So if it pops back down, I want to close out 8 of the 10. Watch it go up and hit my stop. I might have missed my opportunity here. Euro's finally up a little bit. So anyways, if it pulls down, yeah, Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's at a 4-hour level. There's gold. It's popping. So since gold has, and I need to kind of watch oil because I'd like to close out part of that. So since gold has popped above this level, it doesn't matter if it closes. It's already popped above. So it's already broken this high back here. So now what we can do is we can come in and actually move this trade line, and we would move it out here and see that it's already past that. So now we're going to move it out here. And we're only doing that because it's broken. It broke through this high. So it's shown us that extension or push past the high. So now we can go ahead and move that out. And that's our current line right there. I know it gets kind of messy by the end of the day, but so we can move our stop, or I'm going to move our stop, and I'm going to move it up here. Keep it under this low in case it comes back to test it, but also we've got our trade line there. So those 2 points are why I'm moving my low there. I want to keep it kind of tight there. So we locked in a little more, we're like 93. It looks like we've locked in about 3/4 of that, so about $60, $65 something on that. So right now with that 105, this would be about a $170 trade so far if it pulls back. So we would add that here. So I know we were up 42. What is that? 42, 110, 105, 215, and then whatever I said here to add. What did I say, about 60? Something like that. So about 270 on the day. So not the greatest, but again, that's because I had that 245 loss in there. I'm going to move my stop on euro. Just again, I'm waiting on oil to pop back down. So if oil pops back down, I'm going to close out 8. I'll leave 2 on, but I really want to close out the bulk of that trade to minimize my loss on against the gains. I'm not looking right now. I'm negative 200. So if it goes back and hits my stop, and I'm debating whether to cut out now, because if it goes back and hits my stop, I'll be down 400 on this trade, and that's given back a lot on the day. It's given back almost half of what's been made on the day. Just don't want to do that. So I'm waiting for that push. I should have closed there. I don't know. It's been sideways so long, I'm banking on that. So it's been sideways since, what is this? Where it came down and hit this low. That was 10 o'clock. So since 10 o'clock, we've been sideways. So an hour and a half, and I'm banking on that right now, that it's going to go down and hit that level. And I don't know that it will. Because part of me says as soon as I close that, if I do it now, it's going to go down. So I'm going to have to make that decision and just live with it. Yeah, see how platinum's come all the way back down. It's below that 4-hour zone right now. I'm testing it. So glad I did not get in. I would have been okay getting in if it would have touched my order. But that wick right there just did not. It's that red wick. Just did not come close enough to my order. There we go. We're going to get stopped out on oil. See, I'm taking a bigger loss. We're down about 400 now. So again, I wanted to close if it pulled back down and was going to close 8, but it just hasn't. So it may give us a big loss on the day for not loss overall, but this may lose back a chunk of what we've done for the day. Gold right now is trying to break that high, the most recent high. So if it does, we'll move our stop down here. I'm not going to move it yet, or our down trade line out. Not going to move it yet. And we're not getting much on euro. Like I said, euro is pretty much overextended. The Forex market had those huge moves today. So you're still in gold too? Cool. I think a lot of people are right now, which is good. I'm still in that euro trade. I gotta move my stop. This one's ridiculous. That's why I don't like posting the big trades. For one, this one's retirement money, so I don't even cash this one out. That's what I have to retire. I spent so long in construction with no investments at all. And of course, that's what the real estate's for, and the IRA account, because that's the only thing I got to retire on. Yeah, oil's going to give us the big loss. So I should have, if it stops me out, that means I should have closed out there when I was talking about it and just went ahead and took the negative 200. Now it's going to be a little bit bigger loss. I don't move my stops back, so I know some people will. They'll back their stop up, and just gotta leave it where it is. Because they'll back their stop up, you know, like right here, they'd back it up going, okay, well, let me just back it up a little bit more and hopefully not be taken out and then it go down, and let me back it up a little more. Before you know it, you backed it up and lost another $200 or something. So just not a good habit to get into. So you just got to stick with it and take that loss. So gold's kind of slowed down there. Now technically, since that went up on gold, and I don't know why I'm watching oil, because it's either going to go or not. Since it went up and pushed again above this high, that extension, we can move our stop out here, which we're breaking right now. And the only reason, again, you're moving it out is because this high pushed above that one, just barely. So I'm leaving the stop where it is, and it looks like we might get a huge drop here just to stop us out. So be okay with that. We're up 70. 68, and I thought it was going to at least take us out. Here we go. There it is. So we got about 66 on that, remaining of that, on that runner. So we'd add 66 to this. That's 71. So that's where we're at overall. Not bad. We got the 171.71, so about 242. And then we have the 42 here. So 284 total on it. sure here. That's my rough math. We'll see. I was close. Math was a little off. All right, let's see. Hang on one moment here. All right, so I said 282. Where'd it go? It was actually 283. So I was $1 off in my rough math. So not bad on the day. 538, and then that 255. And we know that 245 was that losing trade on gold. So right here. So if I wouldn't have taken that on that pullback and red candle dip here, then you know, that'd be off the table. But it's there. So that's most of that 255. You know, other than that losing trade, we only lost $10 back, which was this part of this trade right here, where I shorted, and I shorted with small contracts because that lows. So still happy with that on the day. Not the greatest, but we're happy with that. We only have one trade on left on this account. It looks like I got some open orders here. We need to make sure all our open orders are closed. If you're not sure if you got open orders, you can either go into your trade panel and look. I like to do this, come in here to the DOM and click on my chart. So I click on gold, and let me take this off. Click on gold, and there's nothing lit up down here. So as you click across the charts, what will happen is if you have orders on, this all lights up down here, if you can see that. Yeah, where it says flatten, close all, and reverse, those light up. So right now I'm on euro, and those are lit up white. If I click on anything else, they're grayed out. So I don't have any trades on. So it's a quick way. I like putting the DOM on and just going, and like I said, clicking through each chart. There's gold, nothing on. There's Bitcoin, nothing on. Here's oil, nothing on. And here's platinum, nothing. So just making sure there's nothing on. And then we know that euro is still trading. I'm going to leave that on. So I could, close them all, flatten for the day, but not interested in that. But that's a quick way to just double check, just to make sure you don't have any hanging orders open there. So yeah, I'm taking out of gold, and we're only in euro. And, it took me out of oil on this pullback. So a little bigger loss than what I wanted because of that. I wanted to close out and didn't. And that was on one of these candles. I think it was on this candle. I have to blow that back up. Yeah, it was right here. That where it came down, and I should have closed out at less of a loss because it was up -3 up in here. And when it came down there, I thought I should close out most of that, at least close out 8, leave 2 on just in case, and take less of a loss. And I didn't. And over here, I was waiting. I waited. It didn't go back down. Waited. It didn't go back down. Well, then it pushed back up. So I missed my opportunity, which was right in here when it had dropped down. I looked at it, saw it, and thought, it'd be a good time to close off partial just to minimize my loss, and I did not. So I took the full loss on that one. So I'll have to go print the report. So I'm done for the day. It's almost noon. So good trading day overall, other than losing back here on oil. I took a chance. We had a lot of sell signals in there. Took a chance it was going to go short, and it just did not go. So I can't help it if it doesn't go after I get in. that's up to the market. So kind of bummed about that because I gave back quite a bit on what it was. So we should still be around 400 to 450 on the day overall. And then this trade I'm going to leave on. So who knows if this is going to be positive for us or a little bit negative. It's not going to be much. As you can see, we're only up $15. We'll lose back about 100 on that. So not a huge trade. So anyways, enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you.